Assembly of the Métis Nation of Alberta. To begin our morning, I'd like to ask our elder, Francis Dumais, to come up and do an opening prayer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I should start a different way. I should say good morning, elders, veterans, youth, and the ladies and gentlemen. How are you this morning? It's such a beautiful day, you know. It's cold and we have to suffer once in a while. But, that's very cool. We have to suffer once in a while to pay for what we did and what we owe to the Creator. But this is one of the best things that can happen to us. I know I'm not happy with it, it's cold. But we have to live with that. But anyway, I'm not going to go too far. You guys are already cold. We'll take you back where it's warmer, where you can be happy. We'll say the Lord's Prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. We utawi maanu tumutaga otia hani poya. Tanema isa estävän jeunan töimäs housittain. Eiväkin uita saavun siivua hotinigaan ottaisin tottamatta. Tämä kihtaun. Annos kaikiskai. Mahteessakin on ohjelketta puhtaan annos kaikiskai. Kuitenkin siihtä hän syysin pöytää suuskai vuotta. Haaksade puheviittoa. Hei. Merci. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Francis. I'd now like Sarah Wolf to make her way up and sing the Métis National Anthem.
Good morning, everybody. So this morning, just to keep it a little bit on the shorter side, I'm going to sing the tribute to the Métis National Anthem, which is a little bit shorter. Long ago was born a people, a new nation rose up strong. Years of trials and tribulations placed us here where we belong. With the past as a motivation, all our dreams can be fulfilled. If we're true to our traditions, what a future we can build. We are proud to be Métis, watch our nation rise again. Never more forgotten people, we're the true Canadian. Long ago was born a people, a new nation rose up strong. Years of trials and tribulations placed us here where we belong. With the past as a motivation, all our dreams can be fulfilled. If we're true to our traditions, what a future we can build. We are proud to be Métis, watch our nation rise again. Never more forgotten people, we're the true Canadian. We are proud to be Métis, watch our nation rise again. Never more forgotten people, people with a true Canadian. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Sarah. Please be seated. And if you have a chair, the rest of you are going to be standing all morning. I'd now like to ask the Vice President from Region 2, Andrea Sandmeyer, to come up and give some welcoming remarks.
Good morning, everyone. It is really cold. Good morning, citizens of the Métis Nation of Alberta, elders, veterans, youth, dignitaries, and friends. Thank you, Sarah, for that beautiful job on the national anthem. And a special thank you to our Region 2 Elder Francis Dumais for the prayer. And thank you, Francis, for all you do and for always being there to support us. On behalf of Region 2 Council and Region 2 President Dwayne Zaraska, I would like to welcome you to the 91st Annual General Assembly. We are happy to be here in St. Paul and especially pleased to be building connections and friendships with the people and town of St. Paul. We are making great strides in the nation with the recent signing of the self-government agreement with Canada, and our theme of this year's Assembly, Our Journey of Recognition Begins and Our Future is Now, reflects the importance of this agreement. St. Paul is rich in Métis history. It was founded as St. Paul de Métis in 1896, and many Métis people settled here, began farming, opening businesses, until they were forced to dissolve the community between 1905 and 1909. Then in 1936, the name changed from St. Paul de Métis to St. Paul. With the raising of the Métis flag in St. Paul today, we are moving towards recognition, acknowledging the history of St. Paul de Métis. I just want to thank everyone for coming, and we hope you enjoy today and the banquet this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Before we get into some more speakers, I'd just like to acknowledge Will Goodon from the Manitoba Métis Federation here representing. Can you give him a round of applause? I'd also like to represent the President of the Women of the Métis Nation, Melanie Omenio. Thank you. I'd now like to ask Rick Wilson, the Minister of Indigenous Affairs from the Government of Alberta, to come up and give some remarks.
Well, it is chilly, but it's a beautiful day to bask in the light of the Lord, and that song just warmed my heart. That was a beautiful rendition. Thank you so much. And thank you, Elder Francis Dumais, for your beautiful prayer. So Tansi, good morning, bonjour. We got people from all across Canada I've been meeting this morning, and it's just wonderful to have everybody here. And Mayor, what a great opportunity for your town here. This is an amazing, first time I've been here, and I just love it. Thank you, so we'll be back. Respected elders, President Audrey Poitres, Vice President Dan Cardinal, MNA Regional Presidents, Vice Presidents, distinguished guests, friends, people from all across Canada, what an honor it is for me to be here today. I'm pleased to bring greetings on behalf of Premier Jason Kenney, and I'm honored to join all of you here today in St. Paul for the 91st Annual General Assembly of the Métis Nations of Alberta. I want to congratulate you on your 91st year. What a milestone, and your many accomplishments over those years. As the population of the Métis in Alberta grows, now at more than 114,000, the MNA is a strong voice advancing Métis rights and safeguarding the quality of life. It's actually 114 and 3 because I got 3 new Métis grandchildren in the last year. Thank you to the organizers for all your contributions today, and I'd also like to extend my sincere thanks in particular to the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 2 Council and Region 2 President Dwayne Zaraska and Region 2 Vice President Andrea Sandmeyer for hosting this assembly, and to the many MNA staff and volunteers who've worked so hard to make this assembly happen. It takes a lot of work to put something like this together, and the town of St. Paul for welcoming us to the beautiful community. Thank you so much for putting all this together. It's an important gathering for all of us here on the traditional lands of Treaty 6 and the longtime home to the Métis people of Alberta. Your roots run deep in this beautiful part of Alberta, as does the cultural impact you have on the fabric of our province. I value this opportunity to meet, to speak with you, and above all, to listen to you. Events like this are vital as it deepens my understanding of your vision. It also provides an opportunity to explore new and meaningful ways we can work together to seize the opportunities for positive change. Today is also a time for you to honor your culture and traditions, celebrate your many accomplishments, and look to an even brighter future for your members. As you know, our government is working to get Alberta's economy back on track and to get Albertans back to work. And we're all partners in driving Alberta's economy to reestablish Alberta's Canada's economic engine. But government can't do that alone. We need everyone to help. And that's why my ministry and staff have spent the summer reaching out to consult and engage with Alberta's First Nations and Métis organizations throughout the province. I know the Métis have a long entrepreneurial history in Alberta, and that you're keen to be involved in economic development, including big projects. I also know you may not have access to resources to do business at a level you might not want to. That's why recently I met with President Audrey Poitras and other members of the Provincial Council to talk about our Alberta Indigenous Opportunities Corporation. The AIOC is being created to backstop up to $1 billion in Indigenous investment in natural resource projects and infrastructure, including pipelines. This corporation will help advance, this is awesome. This corporation will help to advance the lives of the Métis people in Alberta through creating jobs and greater participation in the economy and returning the dollars back to where they belong, in the hands of the people it will impact the most. For too long, Alberta's Indigenous and Métis people have been on the sidelines while the game went on without them. Well, not anymore. The AIOC is about removing barriers to investment dollars and creating wealth. Wealth that will benefit Métis people in this province by creating jobs and greater self-sufficiency. As I said, renewing our economy and getting people back to work is at the heart of our government. So is getting our resources to market. And that's why we also recently announced the litigation fund. This is a $10 million litigation fund program, and it's available to provide financial assistance for legal actions for Indigenous communities and groups who want the jobs and economic growth opportunities provided by the natural resource sector. Many Indigenous organizations do not have the financial resources to pay for legal actions to challenge those groups which seeks to stop their communities from benefiting the same way their neighbors have. And that fund will change all that. It will allow First Nations and Métis organizations to have a say in what is happening in and around their communities. For those who want to apply to the litigation fund, you can find the application form online or just come and give me a letter. The Premier made it really easy. In my meeting with President Audrey Poitras, we have also discussed our commitment to work together to implement the Métis Nation of Alberta, Government of Alberta Framework Agreement. I also appreciated our discussions on Métis harvesting, an important cultural cornerstone for the Métis people in Alberta. Yes, Audrey's done an awesome job for you. Let's give her a big hand. She works hard for you. We respect your relationship and ties with the land, which you have long been guardians of, and our government respects that knowledge you have and gained over the generations. We also respect the traditional harvesting practices that need to be honored and protected. That is why the government looks forward to continuing to work with you on this file. It's imperative that we safeguard your traditions and the way of life so that you can be passed down for the generations to come. The future for Métis people across our province is truly exciting. We know that the Indigenous population is the fastest growing segment of this country and Alberta. The contributions and energy provided by your people will help lift us to the next century and beyond. Your theme of this year is just amazing. Our journey of reconciliation begins. The future is now. It's never been stronger than now. Let's continue our work together to strengthen our nations and to ensure Métis people have every opportunity to enjoy all aspects of Alberta's economic prosperity. I just want to congratulate you again on another successful year and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you so much for welcoming me into your community. It's been awesome. Thank you so much.
I'd now like to ask the Mayor of St. Paul, Maureen Miller, to come up and provide some opening remarks.
Good morning. Oh, how wonderful it is to look at everybody out here. On behalf of Council, I've got Councillor Ward here, I've seen, but I might have a few other councillors here as well. And the town of St. Paul, we welcome you today. This has been a project in the making. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to wander down Main Street, but you'll notice there are many of our hand-painted flags that we're acknowledging, and we will welcome you here today. It is with honor that we stand here together and celebrate the tenacity and the hard work of the Métis ancestors of the town of St. Paul, initially known as the town of St. Paul de Métis. It is with intention that we acknowledge this journey of reconciliation and recognition. Recognition and reconciliation cannot happen without education. This permanent placement of a flag symbolizes the history that our Métis people have had specifically in this community. The Métis flag will proudly fly at the entrance of the town of St. Paul and will encourage that conversation that is deeply rooted in our past. We are honored to have the lineage of the Métis people woven in the tapestry of our history. Thank you once again for being here to celebrate with us. Welcome.
I'd now like to ask the County Reeve, Steve Upham, to come and provide some opening remarks.
Good morning, everybody, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the residents of the Council of the County St. Paul. Welcome home. It's a very special day to have the Assembly here in our community. There's a rich history here, whether it's Métis Crossing, south of Smoky Lake, all the areas where the portage started for the people that came down the river and did their trading and established their lives. And it's so wonderful to see the veterans here that once again established your place as full citizens within this new country that was being developed with the settlers, with the Indigenous, and with the Métis. So, as Reeve, I'm so happy to have you here, and it's a pleasure to be part of this celebration this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd now like to ask Clem Chartier, President of the Métis National Council, to come up and provide some opening remarks.
Good morning. Thank you Elder, for the prayer that you provided. Merci por la prayer que nos conten, Francis. Yep. Veterans, elders, fellow Métis, Mr. Horse. It's it's really lovely to be able to do this outside, and for myself, I'm really pleased to be here once again. We are neighbors. I'm just from the other side of the border in northwest Saskatchewan, so it's always a great thing for me to be here visiting once again. We've, as a Métis people, have made significant progress over the past number of years, but particularly in the last 4 years, and you'll hear that from the other governing member presidents. The significant progress that the leadership of the Métis Nation has been able to do under this current Liberal government. Significant progress. I've been attending these for quite a while, even since the 80s, and we've never been in such a great position as we are today in terms of not only your government, but the ability of your government to provide greater services to our people. For example, over the last 2 years with the budgets, we were able to negotiate over $2 billion. Doesn't sound like lots. If, for example, for the Assembly of First Nations, they got in that same period about $21 billion in addition to what they usually get, which is great for them. But $2 billion for us is really a lot, because prior to that, we were getting practically zero. So to get to that spot, through the hard work of our leadership, your leadership, and in particular, the hard work of officials such as Aaron Barner, our officials have been working very closely over the last 3 years to put together these packages that went to the cabinet, that went then to the finance minister, and finally into the budgets. So it was because of that groundwork, that hard work that's been done over the past 10 or more years that we're able to accomplish this. But it shows that we as a people, don't sit back and say, we can't do it. In fact, we know we can do it, and we have been doing it, and we'll continue to do it. And again, we are one people, one nation. Our nation has a long history, deep roots, and we know that. And we will continue building on that. As we move forward, I, for one, will continue working and protecting that one people, that one nation. We're finally there on a distinctions-based approach, the Métis Nation. And we've made, as I said earlier, significant strides. And the only reason we have made those significant strides is because we've hung on to our identity, our culture, our history, and our place in this great country. So once again, thank you for the warm invitation, but thank you for the invitations today. So thank you very much.
I'd now like to ask the President of the Métis Nation of Ontario, Margaret Froat, to bring some remarks.
Good morning, everybody. What a beautiful day to kick off your 91st Annual Assembly. And I want to start by acknowledging Elder Francis and thanking him for his beautiful prayer, Merci, and for the reminders that he's provided. And to our veterans for bringing in the colors today and always standing there to protect us, to protect our nation. I want to acknowledge all the elders and the veterans and the youth. I had an opportunity to spend part of yesterday with Métis Nation of Alberta youth talking about governance and how youth can be really fully engaged in your movement that you'll be developing now to really build that strong Métis Nation of Alberta constitution. And I want to thank our regional leadership. I want to thank Andrea and President Duane for and the Métis Nation of Alberta for the very kind and warm invitation to come and celebrate your assembly with you. President Patra, Vice President Dan, your entire provincial council, thank you for inviting us to come and participate. And I'm really proud to be here with my colleague Mitch Case, the head of our youth council and our youth representative, and also Paul Robitaille, the chair of our youth council, to be a strong voice for us to be able to come and bring greetings on behalf of the leadership and the citizens of the Métis Nation of Ontario. We have much love for the Métis Nation of Alberta and the work that you've done and the leadership that you've shown. And I was so proud not quite 2 months ago to sit next to President Patra and next to President McCallum from Saskatchewan, and for our three governments to sign self-government agreements that bring that respect and that recognition for the Métis Nation and for our governments and our right to govern ourselves. And this fundamentally is about all of you. It's about all of our people. And whether we're in Sault Ste. Marie, where we're going to be this coming week to celebrate our annual General Assembly, and I can say last night I was showing President Patra a map of those Métis river lots in Sault Ste. Marie, and President Patra said, so many of these names are our names too. And we talk about that interconnection among those waterways, and I look forward to welcoming your leadership. We're not going to be behind a Red River cart. We're going to be in one of those giant Voyageur canoes. But we're going to be doing the same thing we are today. We're going to be exercising our right as Métis people to govern ourselves. So congratulations on your assembly. Greetings from all of us in the Métis Nation of Ontario. Merci.
I'd now like to ask Glenn McCallum, President of the Métis Nation Saskatchewan, to come for his comments.
Good morning, everyone. Celebrating the Métis. I was in Alberta here for many years. Your government to be able to be where you are today. In Saskatchewan, they see what. Our elder guy had this morning. Utayam one kapatista tansaman to is into tamuat, Tamugi Sagansia, Tamua Agaste, Mios, Métis. It was to Utak our veterans. We used to all their time against representing Canada. We used to all at that time it was hard, but after we would take let's give them a hand. Today I'm very thankful to be here. Thanks for inviting me to be here. As we begin this process of reconciliation, as you can see today, we're standing here today to be able to see our flag going up, our Métis flag of Alberta, the Métis Nation flag, to be going up today. If you look back at our history in regards to where we were, if you look at the results of the residential school, and we can go on, the 60 scoop, the list goes on. But the time is now, like one of the ministers said from the province, the time is now to be able to change. The time is now to begin a new path in developing relationship with governments. It is the time. You know the core governance agreement that we've signed. There's 3 provinces, Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. We've signed that agreement believing that we can move forward as a nation. There's still a few just falling on the sidelines, but that's okay. We keep moving forward. And I look forward to working with governments. You know, we have to have agreements in front of us. We have to be able to show governments that we're accountable and transparent. We've gone through our issues in Saskatchewan. We come out with flying colors because we are a determined people to be able to work with governments and establish programs for our people. One of the benefits that we got from signing that agreement, especially the one that I've been working hard for, is the post-secondary. Right now, just a few days ago, we signed the final agreement with GDI to deliver 400 applicants in less than a week. 400. And signing up with their citizenship cards. Out of those 400, close to 200 have their citizenship cards. Our registrations have been flooded with people that are signing in. And it's happening right across Canada and our Métis will show the strong numbers that we have in the Métis communities to be able to show governments that, yes, we've been left on the sidelines for many years, but it's not as if we haven't done great work in the area of economic development and other areas. We'll keep shining and moving forward. And with that, on behalf of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, thank you. Have a good assembly. Thanks for having me here. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, President McCallum. I'd now like to ask our Provincial President, Audrey Patra, to come bring some opening remarks as well as introduce the raising of the flag ceremony.
Give her a big round of applause.
Good morning, invited guests, dignitaries, citizens of the Métis Nation, family and friends. I too want to say a big thank you to our Elder Francis Dumais. Francis, thank you for always being here for us. Thank you very much. I also want to acknowledge Mayor Maureen Miller. Maureen, I thank you for your commitment to reconciliation with the Métis. There's a lot of past and there's a lot of future that we can look forward to. So I really look forward to continuing what we started here today. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge and thank all the people that have come from far away to come and join us. You've heard some of the speakers. We have people in the crowd who are here to come and share with us. So thank you all very, very much for that. And on behalf of the Métis Nation of Alberta, I too would like to welcome you to our 91st Annual Assembly, a time for us to visit with friends, a time to meet new friends, and a time to celebrate all of the accomplishments that we have made in the last year. But it's also a time to move forward, to work together, to conduct the business of the Métis Nation for the betterment of all Métis citizens in this province. Our theme, as you heard for this year's Assembly, is our journey of recognition begins. The future is now. So I am very pleased to be here today working together with the town of St. Paul to raise the flags of the Métis Nation. This flag raising ceremony symbolizes that we are in a time of recognition. The time has come to recognize the contributions made by this country. And by working together, we can move forward. The past is the past, and it has made us who we are today. And that is a nation of proud citizens, proud Albertans and proud Canadians. We have fought long and hard to ensure that our rights as an Indigenous people were recognized. I am proud to say today that we are on that journey. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but like our ancestors, we will prevail. And today, we are honored to be flying the flag of our Métis Nation flag here in the town of St. Paul. So I want to just talk a little bit about what the flag means to us. You know, the Métis Nation flag has flown for many years. It is a symbol of our nationhood. It bands us together. It's a constant reminder of what our ancestors fought for, to preserve our way of life, our culture, our traditions. The Métis Nation flag predates the Canadian flag by 150 years. The first Canadian flag was flown in 1965. The Métis Nation flag was first flown in 1815. We are Indigenous to this country because we were born of the land, long before Canada was a country. We are a distinct nation of people, drawing from our First Nation ancestry and from our European forefathers. We adapted their customs, their tradition, and we made them our own. We were the backbone, the movers, and the shakers of the fur trade. and we continue to be the voice of the Métis people here. And with that, I want to call Mayor Maureen Miller to join me. We have a flag. We have a flag that I'd like to present to you. We have this flag that we are donating to Mayor Miller to hang wherever she chooses. We have another flag that's on the pole that I now want to call upon Mr. John McDonald, our veteran. John has been a long-time friend of the Métis Nation. John was president of the Aboriginal Veterans Society and is always eager to help and does not hesitate when we call upon him for many ceremonies. John has served many years in the military, and we're honored to have John here today to raise the flag on that pole right out there, I believe. There? Yes? Okay. John, thank you very much for being here, and I want you to go up that hall. Please stand for the raising of the flag.
All right, folks, that concludes our opening ceremonies and the flag raising. So if you could please make your way back into the rec center and we'll begin our meeting. Thank you. Anybody else?